Hello, Ferrum. It's Wednesday, April 22nd. It's Earth Day. And for today's parable, I thought I would come outside in this beautiful weather and I would share with you the story about a farmer as found in Luke chapter 10. You may be interested that this is the only parable in which God is given a voice that speaks to the person within the parable. Beginning with verse 13 of chapter 12 in Luke. Someone out of the crowd said, "Teacher, order my brother to give me a fair share of the family inheritance." And Jesus replied, "Mister, what makes you think it's any of my business to be a judge or mediator for you?" Speaking to the people, Jesus went on, "Take care, protect yourself against the least bit of greed. Life is not defined by what you have, even when you have a lot." Then he told them this story, this parable. The farm of a certain rich man produced a terrific crop. He talked to himself, "What can I do? My barn isn't big enough for this harvest." Then he said, "Here's what I'll do. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones. Then I'll gather in all my grain and goods, and I'll say to myself, 'Self, you've done well. You've got it made, and now you can retire. Take it easy and have the time of your life.' Just then God showed up and said, 'Fool, tonight you die. And your barn full of goods, who gets it?' That's what happens when you fill your barn with self and not with God." It's interesting that Luke writes this parable. It only shows up in the Gospel of Luke. It may help to know that Luke is always advocating for those who are on the outside, the poor, the needy, the orphaned. Maybe that parable is appropriate for us today on Earth Day, A, because it talks about a farmer, and B, because it talks about someone who is trying to hoard up all of their goods. How many times have we seen this happen, Ferrum, since COVID-19 began in our world, our communities? So much hoarding going on, so much trying to store up for ourselves rather than to think about our neighbors. As we go through the day, I hope you think about your neighbor and what you have that you can share. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.